I want to go back to the early stages when you were putting the Allman Brothers Band together and your early successes. Talk to me about Dwayne.
Oh, Dwayne, he was the guy's guy. I mean, you either loved Dwayne or you didn't hate him, but he would tell different people just exactly what he felt. He didn't beat around the bush, and he had a very authoritative southern drawl voice, and he was just a great leadership type guy. He was never the big leader of the Allman Brothers Band, which everybody thinks.
Right.
He was a leader without claiming to be a leader. You know, he just had a leadership character, and so we were more of a democratic kind of a moving together kind of thing, and Dwayne and I talked a lot when we'd make long trips together, and we'd be drinking a bottle of wine or something and just talking about women or bands or what broke. And we would talk about things that broke bands up and what we'd have to safeguard against, and personal things like jealousies of each other on stage, you know, and how damaging that can be. And it's not a competition like sports, you know, playing music. It's you know, and jealousy clashes all that up. You know, you have to just meld together and work together. There's a lot of interesting insights for a 22-year-old guy, and you know, that's
Pretty precocious.
pretty good thinking. You know, Dwayne Allman, of course, there's good reason he's in the Hall of Fame as a slide guitar player. He's one of the best.
Is it a coincidence or not that you have a son named Dwayne?
Named after Dwayne Allman,
That's
of
what
course. Yeah.
Well, fair or unfair to say that neither the Allman Brothers Band or you as a professional, you accomplished all kinds of things collectively and individually since then. But fair or unfair to say it was never the same after Dwayne died so young.
It's God. Yeah, I mean, if you had a brother, I don't know.
I have a brother.
Yeah. Well, if you lost him, things wouldn't be the same, you know. I mean, you carry on, you enjoy life, you don't quit being Dan Rather, but it's different now that your brother's gone. It's that kind of thing, and as a band, performing band, we were very good at regrowing an arm. Or, you know, Chuck Level was a great player that came in after Dwayne passed. We didn't get a guitar player for years after Dwayne passed, if you know.
True.
Long time. But we got a Chuck Level who was fantastic. The work he did on Jessica is just amazing. He damn near deserved to be shared writers on that. I mean, the piano work he did with the parts, and he brought a lot to the table on that song. It was well written to begin with, but Chuck Level was a great replacement that gave us, you know, the ship wasn't sinking. it was patched up, I mean, it was strong.
Yeah.
And a lot of people were surprised because some people thought Dwayne Allman was just the whole, you know, mental giant behind the Allman Brothers. There was a lot of talent in that band.
The best known, most famous song of the Allman Brothers Band was Ramblin Man. And, you know, I'm a Hank Williams man. Yeah. And he did Ramblin Man.
Yeah, I was influenced by that song when I wrote this, actually.
The Hank Williams song.
Yeah.
Are you a Ramblin Man?
I was born with it. I'm afraid that's an autobiography, that song.
Well, how did it come about? Did it just strike you all at once, or something came?
That song?
Yes.
Oh, that's the craziest thing. I had a friend, and he was a fence builder, barbed wire fence border for these ranches. And I was living in one of his little rooms in his house. And when I went out and more or less made it, starting to make it on the road, I would come back to see him every night. He'd say, "How you been doing? Playing your music and doing the best you can." I reckon he was a real Kansas City hayseed, you know. And that line just stuck with me. I said, that's rhythmic line, you know, playing music and doing the best you can, I guess. Huh?
Playing the music, doing the best you can.
Yeah.
Even for my non-musical ear, that has a ring to it.
Yeah, and he kind of had that southern kind of a lyrical, rhythmic voice, you know, accent. Anyway, I carried that idea around in my head for a couple of years, or a year, you know. I changed it around. Instead of playing my music, I'm trying to make a living, you know, trying to relate to people that don't play music. I sat down and write it, and I wrote it in 5 minutes. It's like you was writing a letter to your girl.
But it's not fair to say you wrote it in 5 minutes, because you said you've been carrying it around in your head.
That's what I'm getting at, yeah. I
didn't just put it down.
I never tried to write any of it down. And I didn't really have the song laid out in my mind even. I had a general idea now of what I was trying to do, and it kind of, you call it writing, it just wrote itself after me dwelling on it for a long time, you know. And so that was the way that song came about, and it was a big surprise to me that people liked it as much. It almost didn't get on the album. I didn't even offer it to the band to go on the album. We needed a song, and I said, well, I've got a song here. That played it for the producer, and he said, my God, that's a great song. So we did.
And a great song it was.
Yeah.
Well, how is your life and career, looking at it from what we call on television a wide shot? How's your life and career been after you left the Allman Brothers Band? You left in 2000.
Yeah. Yeah, that was unfortunate the way that whole thing came about. It happens so often with especially musical bands, because we work together so closely and emotionally. I don't know, it's just some of the members had jealousies and resentments really blown out of control. And for one reason or another, and they thought that they could better their own station if I weren't standing in the way of something that was imaginary. I wasn't standing in the way of anyone, you know. So it was just that kind of thing, and I was pushed out.